Morning all. Just thought I'd do a quick video on just one coin I think's really watch out. I've always been pretty. I've just wondered why this coin doesn't pump more than it does because it's just such a good product. They've got backing Cardano, which is ADA on the actual list. So if you have a look at this is the graph, 6 monthly graph with some technical indicators in it. As you can see, as I said to you before, is green is the is movement upwards, and red's movement downwards. So over 6 months period. And you can see some little trends I put in here, and you see trends sort of mirroring here. Is that coming down there? That coming down there? It looks like to me we formed a new low there, which is a new low, what's called a new low high. So it's higher than the previous low there. So with that in mind, you kind of think the roll is going to be back up this way, and you've seen this. This is a daily report. The last 2 days, Cardano has really it's almost started to flatten out here. It started to move upwards. And I'm just watching Cardano on here, and I see I've just gone into a trade with Cardano, and I've got one going there as well, which that one's not doing quite as well at the moment, but anyway, it's only early days. So I've taken a trade down here, and it's gradually progressing. But we'll get those waves, and I talked about it with guys. This is where you're trading waves. This is where you make money on. You can either keep a trade open, so if we go to, or you can go a lot more short termer. So if we go to the 1 minute market, for example, we might want to exit the trade now, but I don't really, for $1.97 or $3, don't really want to exit the trade. I think long term it will still stay good. So if we go to the 5 minute one, which is what I use normally, it's telling me that I probably got in a little bit earlier than what I should have done. So I actually used the 3 minute one at this one, but it's crossed here. We've got a green. If this one's a green again, which we're hoping, then we're looking for a nice long ride, something like that. Hopefully, which has stayed above the green and just popped down a bit there and then gone back up again. So we would have probably sold out here, bought in here, nice little profits. Again, same with all here. You can see it just starting to, the actual trend. Oops, sorry, my bad. The trend line of the graph is trending that way there, over the last. Whereas before that, you can see the way that if we go out to the 1 hour graph. Okay, so you can see that trend's definitely changed. So we've gone from a downward trend. Now we've got a flattening, and we've got a peak down, and then we've got starting to raise up again. So have we reached the bottom? Well, I guess only time will tell. But on the hourly chart, it says if we had to come in on here and stayed with that all the way, we would have had a good run from 125. Possibly actually would have come in around about there. So again, this is the value of long-term trading over short-term trading. If you want to sit back and watch, if we had to follow this, we would have followed this. Would have tempted to be pulling out here, but if we hadn't stayed, we still would have been on the growth chart here. So it's worth looking at that if you're looking for long-term trading. Go to your hourly chart, and if we even take that out further into a 4 hourly chart, it will show again coming in back here, which is $1.25. So it crossed here. We had the green bar to say green to go, and then boom, it's going up. So you see that now this amount, see, we've just gone up $2 just as we were talking. So you can see how fickle the market is. And I was looking at my total wallet, and it moved 20% in the space of an hour just before, so which is a huge movement. So don't get too hung up on that, because again, as long as you don't sell, you don't lose, unless you're doing perpetuals like what I'm doing, or futures, sorry. So I have to keep an eye on this one. We don't want this one to blow out, but if we go to the graph, again, I made a lot of money on this yesterday, and it's supposed to ride to 38. 0.38, sorry, so it's on 0.289. So, I was willing to give it a chance to keep going. And because you can see from the 4 hourly chart, it still looks really, really good. So I was in a bit high there probably. If we go back to our 5 minute chart, it's probably saying, I should be getting out, but we'll see if that comes up. I'm in this one for a bit more of a long term. I'm in this for actually probably using the hourly chart on this one. This is something I'm probably going to keep for 5 or 6 days open. My sell stop's quite high, so it's about a $30 loss if it hits that, but it hasn't done that for for quite a while now. So, and the trend is very, very good. If we had to jump back in here when I was told, and I've had to stayed in it because I chickened out about here, but made some good money. But if I had stayed in it, I would have been up here right now. So we're trending red. So as long as that actually starts to zoom back up again, and this little momentum bar, which is the RSI, starts going that way, we're laughing. So anyway, just with the ADA, as I said, I think this is worth putting some coin on. I definitely think we've got some good things happening there. And just if you look at the cheat sheet for us, so there's no point sitting there trying to work out all your resistance points and your support points when somebody's already done all the work for you. Got to make life easier, not harder. So our first resistance is 138. So we might be looking at taking some profit at 138 first, and then seeing whether it breaks that 138. Get through the 156, 146, so we can see it go. Starts to get down to 129, well, we're definitely seeing it move down, but we'll be out. My stop loss in that one, I think, is about $1.32. Sorry, if I go back to ADA. Let's give it a few seconds to change over. Any minute. Whilst we're waiting, I'll just tell you, talking about the Facebook account, I'm getting to deny a lot of people who are trying to join. I think it's getting to about 30 over the last 3 days, and who just simply aren't answering the questions and agreeing to the rules. And I'm just not going to compromise the integrity of the group by just letting anyone in. So otherwise you end up with what we have here. I joined this group when there was about 12,000 people in it, and it was actually a really good group, Crypto Signals. And it's now got 511,000 members, and it's full of garbage in there. You've just got people just making outlandish claims. It allows anyone can post, and it's just rubbish on there. There's a few claims back here. FTM will touch $100 in 2025. Well, okay. Well, what's the technical analysis, and how is it gonna do that? And there's so many scammers as far as Telegram groups and all sorts of things. So if we want a group like that, well, we're not going to have it, because I won't do it. So, and then people coming in asking and going, well, I've got $2,000. What should I buy? Well, if you're going into a group like this with $2,000 and asking what to buy, well, just hand the $2,000 to me, because that's about what you're doing. Because these guys these are all people who just have no idea. I mean, just to put, is it worth to buy SHIB for $1,000 right now? I mean, just you do your own research, but I mean, ask better questions. Look for technical analysis and that sort of thing, and that's how you learn. You certainly don't learn from these people and all the Telegram sites. And you can see from, I do have Telegram, and there are some of the sites I use on Telegram, but you can go to all these ones on here. There's just a load of crap, and most of them I delete eventually, but I just like to read. Honestly, it gives me some form of entertainment sometimes. That the people actually fall for some of this stuff. Send me $1,000 Ethereum, and I'll send you 10,000 back. I mean, please don't fall for those gigs. But there are a couple in here that are actually not too bad, but not many, to be honest. Anyway, I won't harp on that, but because on a positive note, the market itself is very, very good at the moment. But I will show you again what I talked about this morning about BTC. If we're heading out to the daily market on BTC, and because I'm mining like crazy at the moment, my PC is running really slow for some reason, but I've got to do a bit of jigging. So we'll just wait for BTC to load itself up. Okay, so we're going into the day market. If I throw that back out again, we talked about our head and shoulders. So there's the shoulders there. And then we've got the head building. And now we've got this turnaround here. You can see 2 days of growth on BTC going that way, heading towards that 50,000 mark. That's the reversal of here. So this is the sort of pattern we're probably going to see. So it's a good chance now that BTC will go up to here and actually be above this point, maybe around here, 52, 53. And then we're going to see it taper right down. I don't think we're not going to see the 32s, but we could see early 40s again. But the good thing is, we then reversal paddle here, 63. We'll actually end up over here, somewhere in the middle of January. If we slide across here, the pattern will be like that, and then we'll see it move back up to that way to the 70,000 mark again. That should be how it goes. Obviously, things change. If you look at the RSI for the daily, it's really where it's called underbought. So it's starting to raise up here, and you can see when this gets to its peak, that's when it is. So we're watching this to keep going that way. So it's probably a very, very good buy at the moment on the long-term strategy. All right, well, I hope that gives you some ideas anyway, and have a look. And any questions, as I said, feel free to drop them down, and we'll do our best to answer them for you. Stay safe, take care, have a Merry Christmas if we don't get a video out before then, but I'm sure we will. And be kind to each other,